A very good morning to all our Sports Today family members. These are the latest sporting headlines that's doing the rounds this Saturday. Yesterday, there was a late night development that Shreyas Iyer and Ravi Bishnoi have been added into the T20I team. And amidst this backdrop, the Indian team are going to prepare and challenge New Zealand today in Indore. Now, this is the final ODI that's going to be played tomorrow, and Team India will hold a practice session today in the evening time. And then probably around arrival, they will have a press conference. It will be very interesting to see who comes for that press conference. Because remember, the series is tied 1-1 and it's all to play for in Indore, a venue where India have never lost. 7 matches, 7 straight wins in Indore. But there are tensions in Indore, because when you look at it, tensions are high in Indore over the tragedy that happened in Bhagirathpura. Now remember, there are political protests that have been planned today in Indore, and Bhagirathpura will be the center of attention, because remember, there was a water epidemic that happened there. There was a diarrhea epidemic that broke out due to civic apathy that was there, and a lot of children and a lot of people got impacted. A lot of people died also in Bhagirathpura because of that. So that is why there are political tensions that are there in Indore. There is a police presence there, and maybe Bhagirathpura and where the Holkar Stadium is, it may not get impacted that much. But the city is coming to grips with a tragedy that no one ever planned for. It was waiting to happen, and unfortunately it did happen at this stage. Now, the main question everybody has is, will Team India make any form of changes? Because Nitish Reddy has not been informed. So will Arshdeep Singh get a game in Indore? Remember, if it was a dead rubber, perhaps he would have gotten a game. But I think the main focus is the T20 World Cup, and that is why perhaps Arshdeep Singh might not get a game. So that is the thing that we're looking at. But we'll get a clearer picture when the press conference takes place. So that is why let's hope that Arshdeep gets a game, because if India lose to this New Zealand second B team that has come here, it's going to be a major embarrassment in more ways than one. But then staying with Indian cricket, there is, despite all the tensions, India versus Bangladesh will take place in the Under-19 World Cup today in Bulawayo. Now remember, India got off to a winning start against USA with Henil Patel taking 5 wickets. Vaibhav Suryavanshi did fail, but then let's see how that pans out. But before all of that, the unfortunate thing for the game today between India and Bangladesh is that there is rain predicted in Bulawayo. 65% chances of rain are there, and remember, the ground is not such a quick drying ground. It does take a bit of time. So that's why maybe India versus Bangladesh could get rain impacted, but one hopes that the rain stays away, because at this time in particular, January, around at that time, you do get some rain in Namibia and in Zimbabwe, and that's why one hopes that the rain stays away in this India versus Bangladesh game. But all eyes will be on Vaibhav Suryavanshi, because remember, Vaibhav Suryavanshi has been the name that everybody's talked about. He did fall for a low score in the previous game, but remember, against other opponents, he might get his mojo going. But he has to also understand that the Under-19 World Cup is not that easy, because you don't get that many big scores. The pitches are very helpful for swing bowling and seam bowling, and that is why Vaibhav Suryavanshi might find it a bit difficult to ensure that he gets some runs on the board. Now, staying with Indian domestic cricket now, Saurashtra have managed to ensure that they reach the final after a stunning century from Vishwaraj Jadeja, and that's why Saurashtra will take on Vidarbha in the VHT final that will take place on Sunday. Because remember, it's the battle of two teams that have done well in the domestic circuit. Vidarbha more so, because they have managed to win multiple Ranji Trophy titles, and Vidarbha also, they are looking in prime form heading into this. So that's why this is going to be very interesting. When it comes to women's cricket, RCB have secured their third straight win in WPL 2026 by beating the Gujarat Giants. Remember, at one stage, they were 4 wickets down, right? Inspired move from the captain ensured that Radha Yadav was given a promotion, and she chipped in with 66 runs. And it was Shreyanka Patil who stole the show. Shreyanka Patil with 5 for 23. Remember, she was battling injuries and she was almost out for close to 1 year. But then Shreyanka Patil has come back hungrier. She's managed to ensure that, okay, she does well, and she's taken 5 for 23. So RCB are looking good to defend their WPL title in the near future. So that's why this is going to be very important at this stage. Now, As far as the India Open badminton is concerned, a chaotic tournament has come to an end for the Indian contingent because Lakshya Sen lost to Lin yesterday. It made it 4-0 in favor of his opponent. That's why Lakshya Sen admitted he could not adjust to the drift that was there. Now remember, the drift in a badminton court is something that one cannot control. It depends on how big the venue is. It depends on the logistics of how the venue is. So yes, he got undone by the drift there. But remember, even in the All England Open, there is the drift which undoes a lot of people in badminton there as well. So that's why, yes, Lakshya Sen just couldn't make it. And that's why India's challenge in the 750 tournament has come to an end. Now let's see who wins the India Open at this stage. You have Jonathan Christie, you have Lin, you also have An Se-yong, who is going to be the odds-on favorite to win in the women's section. So let's see how that pairs out at this stage. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this update. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis, and don't forget to tap that bell icon so that you know when we go live. Bye-bye.